When we think about the holidays, maybe when I think about the holidays, I think about what's supposed to be versus what is. And when it comes to communication, the holidays can be a time of just absolute meltdowns, breakdowns, arguments, not what we're supposed to think about the time between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Yet here we are at the beginning of December, and already people are starting to stress about seeing the in-laws or seeing their family or flying 8 hours with kids or whatever they're going to do to celebrate this holiday. So I'm doing two things today. I'm talking about thinking about when we fight and how we fight so that two, the holidays don't have to be this time of terrible stress, anger, hurt, old resentment surfacing, etc. At least not without you having some control over how and when that happens. So the typical scenario, maybe just one of many. You're at your parents' house and the kids are tired from travel and your mom starts in about how she never hears from you, or your dad comes at your husband or your wife with criticism about maybe how they're managing their career, or the kids don't seem very disciplined, or whatever's on your parents' minds. And it seems to be the same routine every holiday when you go to see them. And you're going to be here a week or 2 weeks or 3 days or whatever you planned. And before you know it, a fight starts, or a fight doesn't start, and you seethe with resentment, you're angry, you're frustrated, you're all kinds of things. Unfortunately, that's too typical of a scenario. When, in a lot of ways, those conversations, or even how you manage those feelings, are largely up to you. What I'm recommending is you consider scheduling a hard conversation. I know that sounds crazy. I get for a lot of people that sounds nutty. But let's start with our significant others first. Often the people we come at the hardest are those we love the most during the holidays, weirdly enough, because we feel the safest dumping those feelings. Or conversely, we don't have those conversations and they build and build and build until at some point there's an explosion. Christmas Eve dinner, gifts Christmas morning, out with the 13 relatives that came to Christmas with you, you name it. So what I'm recommending is you consider actually planning to sit down at a time and a place of your choosing, yeah, during the holidays, and at least get listened to. The piece I'm looking for here today is how can you manage this conversation in such a way that it doesn't just explode on everybody and leave scars and lava burns or whatever you want to describe it as. How do you do that? Well, one thing to do is to make the decision. You know what? I need to just take 2 minutes and get heard about my frustration, my hurt, my anger, my sadness, whatever it is I'm dealing with. Two, tell the person you want to have the conversation with before you actually start the conversation. Part of this is not springing this on you or anybody else, but deliberately making some time to get listened to. Notice that's what I'm focused on, like always. Do some reflective listening, have them summarize back, and give them a chance, if they need it, to be heard by you. Even that much is going to do an enormous amount to ease off the pressure, either temporarily, maybe enough to get through the holiday, or even begin to address it in a serious way. Recommendation one, get listened to. Two, schedule it and tell your partner. And don't schedule it for 30 seconds from now. Also, don't schedule it from 2 weeks from now. Say, can we talk in a half an hour? Can we talk in 10 minutes? And there's nothing to panic about. I just want to get heard. Recommendation number three, pick a place where you can talk comfortably. This derails a lot of people. They automatically assume that because they're traveling or with their parents or with friends, they can't have this conversation. But anybody can step outside a restaurant for 5 minutes, step into a bathroom, climb in the car, don't go walk in the snow. I think that's a really bad idea. Make a space where you can be heard comfortably and you're not worried about other people listening. If there were any other recommendations, expect feelings to surface. Yeah, you could have a lot of feelings show up, but the mission isn't necessarily to fix it in that conversation. The mission is to get heard and relieve some of that pressure. Remember, I'm talking about reflective listening. You talk, I summarize, you tell me, yeah, that's it, or no, we got to do it again. And we stay there until I go, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel heard. Feeling heard is crucial in this whole conversation. Bottom line, the holidays don't have to overwhelm us with feelings and anger and hurt and all the other stuff that can show up at this time of the year. Give yourself a break, give the people you love a break, and deal honestly, safely, productively with how you feel. And by the way, happy holidays.